Hey guys, here's what I discovered by calling 100 different cold calls in the last 3 weeks. Cold calling is not my biggest fear. My biggest fear is really cold approaching, being face to a person saying no, or your offer is shit, or it's just I always had like the worst. I always pictured a very bad place to be, basically. And I never wanted this, so I always was very comfortable in the last like 16 years working with agencies, being the guy in the background, just getting good results, not having to deal with clients and not having to get out and outreach for clients. In the last 2 weeks, no, in the last year, the cost per lead on Upwork has actually doubled compared to the last 2 years I've been on. So I knew at some point I had to figure a way to get more leads in other ways. I never wanted to reconsider cold approaching and cold calling, but after chatting with ChatGPT, turned out that it's not too. It's in fact you get a good conversion rate. In fact, on cold calling, and actually according to ChatGPT, you have a higher uh, closing rate on cold approach than really, like in reality, versus cold calling. So I said, okay. I decided to pick 12 different companies I wanted to work with. I went, and within an hour, everything was done. I met everyone possible. And what I really understood is one, I was psyched by the fact that the it wasn't hurting at all to being said no. It wasn't even like pleasing. Like I felt really powerful to be able to go there and didn't care anymore. So that was one of the nice discovery. The other discovery is that it's not scalable at all. Just going from one person to the other, sometimes uh, the buses are not even here in this city, basically. So or even in the state. So that was a big annoyance for me. But I still got a like people were so kind and so helpful. They I got a bunch of emails to call for, and I ended up doing so because I'm super um, focused and disciplined. So ended up starting cold calling these leads, and I actually got a ton of good response. In fact, and I even thought, hey, it was so easy. Let's do another batch, another 30 batch. So after 30, and then another 30 for in the first week, 60 in the first week. After 60, I said, okay, I my biggest problem now is that most businesses, even though I thought it would be different for smaller businesses, they have a person that's just there to take calls, and that's their job. And they call them gatekeepers. Yeah, gatekeepers. And as long as you can go, and gatekeepers are there just to take every sales call possible. Their job is to not allow you to get to the actual buses that makes the difference. Second week, I decided to study everything I could find online, and little did I know, but now the actual because I actually got in the last week, and I with another 60 batch with and the actual closing rate is more like not closing rate, but the outreach, the how many times you get to the actual owners with these technique are around like 80%. So even there, sometimes there's people that just they're like incredibly busy, or they're working, they're with a patient or whatever. So there are still sometimes that you don't find the actual homeowner, but one of the most effective secret is that instead of asking for Mr. So and so, You have to call them for their one. I you look for their first name on the on your website, on their website basically, and you ask them in a way that's really, I'm always calling here. It's my spouse. I have a fucking important thing to tell them, and it's not like I have not a bad news for them. It's a lot of acting, but this actually is pretty awesome. It works pretty great. But in many businesses that I found, like there's too many people involved, and you don't know which one is the right person to get to. So the other way of doing so, getting through, is that you okay, you tell them, you call them in in a hurry, urgency. Sorry, but we I'm sorry, I'm Yuri. I'm the guy who called for your. I'm the one who manages your Google Ads, and we have a big problem. We really need to get in touch with the right person here, and we don't know if uh, is she available. And then they actually send you to the right person. So that's a big win. Also, it's a good news for me. Anyway, you're gonna hear from me in the next few next weeks. Just so I tell you more, just to give you a better update about this cold calling. Thanks. Bye.